Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. On today's agenda, I have planned to share with you a couple of the books that I plan on picking up in the month of June. Typically, I don't really do any TBR videos or to be read videos because I typically don't really stick to a TBR. I'm very much a mood reader. However, last month I really made myself pick up certain books because they were going to disappear from my subscription service, and it really went very well. When I kind of make myself stick to something, it turned out really well. So I was able to cross off a lot of the books that I had on my TBR for a long time. And I was like, okay, so it worked for me once, maybe I should try it again. So here are a couple of the books that I am really dying to read in the next couple of weeks. A couple of them I've selected because they're really very much lighter, fun, kind of rom-com type of books that I'm in the mood for when the summer starts. A couple of them are books by authors that I want to start reading because they're going to be at the Rare event in Florence that I think I'm going to attend in September. And a couple of them are new releases or releases that have just released a couple of months ago and I still haven't gotten to them. So I'm really excited to pick those up. So without further ado, let me just share with you a couple of the books that I plan on picking up in June. And then at the end of the month, I want to kind of hold myself accountable to see if I can actually stick to a TBR video again, or whether the May one was a fluke. So let's just wait out and see. The first book that I definitely want to pick up is one that was recommended by Caitlin from The Love Librarian. She recently finished it and was raving about it in her Instagram stories. The book is Goal by Alexandria House. It's a black romance, a sports romance that features a hockey player. And this hockey player, he becomes a parent because he is going to be the guardian of his siblings. And he's in desperate need of some help, so he hires a nanny. And the romance is between himself and the nanny. I love nanny romances. I love sports romances. I've been on a real hockey romance kick as well. So this really bodes well for me. It sounds like an amazing read and the cover is also gorgeous. So I really have high expectations for this one. Now, the second book that I have on my list is one that was recommended on the channel for the Rare event on Facebook. One of the authors who is going to attend, she had her backlist posted onto kind of the community board where she was explaining what each book was about. And one of them I saw that I have on Storytel as an audiobook, so I definitely want to pick that one up because it's going to be a quick read for me and it's going to introduce me to a new author. The book is called Rustic Hearts and it's by Amber Kelly. This book it sounds really good. It's a small town cowboy romance. So I've only read the books by Elsie Silver, the Chestnut Springs series that I really loved. So I'm really curious to see whether it's just Elsie's magic that she does with cowboy romances or whether I'm going to enjoy this one as well. It also features the grumpy sunshine trope, which I absolutely love. So I'm really curious to see whether this book is going to be a hit for me as well and whether I'm going to find a new favorite author in this one. So the next one is actually a book that I've had on my TBR for a long time because I read the first book within the series last year and I absolutely loved it. The book that I read last year is Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and the second book within the series is called Terms and Conditions. I was holding off on reading it because I really wanted to read it as an audiobook, and now that it's become available on Storytel, I definitely want to pick it up. This book follows the second brother within the Dreamland Billionaire series, I think it's called, where the three brothers are inheriting a specific kind of fortune from their grandfather only if they follow his will. So he has kind of made up these rules in his will that they need to follow, otherwise they won't get their inheritance. And I think in this book he needs to get married in order to get his inheritance. So I think it sounds amazing, and I've heard actually a lot of people liking this one more than the first one, and I actually already love the first one, so I'm really curious to see whether I'm going to love it as much as the first one or even more. As I mentioned, I'm really in the mood to pick up a summary type of reads. So when I saw on Storytel that there is this road trip romance, kind of a rom-com situation with a gorgeous cover as well, I definitely want to pick that one up as soon as possible. The book is called Miles and Miles of You, and it's by Jennifer Bonds. It's a road trip summary romance where we have a groveling hero, because I think she was his assistant, but she was not treated very well, so she decided to quit and make this road trip with an Airstream, and he follows her around and tries to grovel to get her back or to get her to date him. I'm not sure, but it really sounds very cute and very amazing, especially if we have a very good grovel in there, so I definitely want to pick this one up. And then the next book that I definitely want to pick up is by Tarah Dewitt. It's The Co-op. I know that everyone loved Funny Feelings by this author the most, and I read that one. I liked it, but I didn't love it for some reason. So when I saw that Chandler from Chandler Ainsley's channel, she did recently kind of a battle of the tropes video that she's doing at the moment, and she read this one for the second chance romance trope. She said that she actually liked this one more than Funny Feelings. So I'm really curious to see if I'll find the same, because she also didn't love Funny Feelings as much as this one. So I really have high hopes that I'll like this one more. And continuing on with these summary reads, I just recently saw that there's going to be a book that is kind of marketed as Emily in Paris, but then set in Rome, or I think in Rome, at least in Italy. The book is called Ciao for Now, and it's by Kate Bromley, and it features a woman who gets this business opportunity in Italy. Sounds really very much like Emily in Paris to me, and I'm very curious to see how that one, whether it's going to be as summary as I think it's going to be, and whether it's going to include the fashion that we have in Emily in Paris as well, because I love that aspect within the series, and I would love to see that within a book setting as well. So I'm very curious about this one. I love when a book is set in Italy. It's my favorite country, and it just gets me all the feels and all the tastes of their food and the smells and the amazing architecture when I read books that are set there. So I'm definitely very curious to see whether I'm going to love this one as much as I hope that I will. And then two books that I definitely want to pick up by the same author. The first one is In a Jam by Kate Canterbary. This book blew up, I think, last year on BookTube, BookTok, Instagram, everywhere. It has a very cutesy cover, and I think it's a small town romance, and it's set in some kind of a setting where they have a factory for jam making, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to know too much about the books that I'm picking up, to be honest. I just want to know the general feel or maybe the tropes, but I just don't want to know too much so I don't get my hopes up too much. But In a Jam I definitely want to pick up. And then from the same author, I want to read Far Cry, because this one also feels like it's going to be kind of a summary read, maybe more emotional than fun rom-com-y type, but we need to have some kind of a difference and kind of a balance between the emotional and the fun ones. So I definitely want to pick this one up as well. Speaking about cowboys, I still have not read Powerless, and I want to really desperately read Reckless by Elsie Silver. Those are the third and fourth book that I've released in the Chestnut Spring series. The first one, Flawless, I love. The second one, I adored. It was my favorite within the series so far. I know that Powerless is one where people are kind of divided on it, because it's the kind of childhood friends to lovers trope, and not everyone loved that one as much, but it's actually a favorite trope of mine, so I think I may love it just as much as the other two. We'll just wait out and see. But then the fourth book, Reckless, I'm really curious about that one because we have Winter's story, and Winter is Summer's sister from the first book. And I was really curious about her character already in the first book, so I'm so excited to see that she's going to get her own romance, especially because she's going to have a romance with one of the younger guys from the rodeo circuit in the first book, and I'm really excited about this one, guys. So I definitely want to read Powerless first, and then if I have the time this month, I'm going to binge Reckless as well. So I've talked on my channel a lot about my favorite tropes, and one of them is one that is very difficult to pull off, and not many books. I haven't really found very many books with this trope. The trope is marriage in trouble. And I found a book that is just, I think, recently released by a male author, mind you. It's by Joseph Murray, and the book is called Fling. This is a marriage in trouble story where we have two characters who fell in love at first sight. They had an amazing connection, but a couple of years in, something has happened where they have kind of drifted apart, and they need to figure out what is going to happen. Are they going to stay together, work on their relationship, or really split up? So I'm very curious to see if this is going to be a hit for me, because I love marriage in trouble. I love when people really need to work through conflicts or obstacles in a long-term relationship, and I just want to see if this one is going to be another 5-star read for me. The last book that I plan on picking up for sure, I really hope that I will, is by Emma Hart. I've read another Emma Hart book last year and I really liked it. It was a fun, short, rom-com type of book that kind of left me feeling very positive in the end, and I really hope that the one that I've selected to read this month, that it's going to have the same effect. The book is called Hot Mess by Emma Hart, and it's a fun, short, rom-com book that features a single dad as well. So I don't know, the cover kind of seems summery to me, so it already got me wanting to read it even more now that I'm in the mood for summery reads. And honestly, I don't want to know more about it. I just want to have like a short, fun, steamy, hot, amazing, atmospheric kind of read. So I really hope that this one is going to be it. These were a couple of the books that I definitely plan on picking up in the month of June. Let's keep our fingers crossed that I actually will manage to finish most of them. And once it's wrap-up time, I'm going to let you know what I thought about the ones that I did get to finish. Please let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and whether you plan on picking up any summary reads, and which ones you plan to pick up so I can maybe add them to my TBR as well. I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care, and bye-bye.